Welcome, bounty hunters and Star Wars fans alike. It is All Fetts Are Off, your favorite Monday night Star Wars fan show. We are back after a very long hiatus. It is I, the Tuscan Toast in Miami, Florida. And with me, as always, is Brian, the charismatic Carillion in San Antonio, Texas. Brian, it has been way too long. How are you, cousin?
It has been quite a while since our last show.
Yes.
Traveled a few parsecs in between there, so.
Yeah, it's been a light year. The jokes are a little dry after such a long hiatus, but
they're drier than a Carillion martini.
Oh my god. Okay, now they're just Star Wars dad jokes now. Which you and I.
No. They're drier than all the sand surrounding Obi-Wan's homestead.
I was gonna go somewhere else with that, but sure, yeah, we'll go with Obi-Wan's homestead.
I don't want to know.
But
I'm pretty sure it would have to have been censored or something.
Well, I mean, it's YouTube and the internet, so we can pretty much do and say whatever we want as long as we're not putting
unless
copyright. Unless it's copyrighted material, and then it's a no-no. But the cool thing about these hiatuses is that we just have tons to talk about in between. So that's good. I mean, we don't get to interact with each other in between that time. Just life happens. People get busy. Things happen. But we do have some of these incredible shows that we've had after long hiatuses, and I think this is going to be one of them because there's just a lot to talk about. Have I seen Bad Batch? No, I have not. I'm very sorry. But it wouldn't be me if I said, you know what, I'm here, I'm prepared, I've seen every show, I'm ready to talk about it.
Right.
But that's just not how we operate.
I have nothing to do. So.
No, yeah, that's just not how we operate. And, just to kind of stick to our MO and to keep our fan base with all of the things that they like and expect from us, mediocrity on my end is something that they will always get. Well,
while we're kicking off, I want to be sure to mention our friends with Bad Customs and Pharaoh's Designs. Bad Customs actually wants to let everyone know that right now Brianna's on vacation with Bad Customs. She'll be on vacation through the 26th of the month. She is still selling some summer dresses, though, in that time. Ooh. On Bad Customs. And if you check out Pharaoh's Designs site right now, they are pumping out the graduation banners. I've seen some graduation banners on their site, and they're killer. So,
oh yeah, and she's been really active. Well, I mean, before she went on vacation, she was really active on, on her Facebook page, and she was just, I mean, just got her talent. It's incredible. So yeah, please check her out and get her to make you some custom stuff. So that's why it's called Bad Customs. If you're looking for that
graduation stuff, check out Pharaoh's as well.
Yeah, and that's why it's called Bad Customs. Guess I don't know. Anyways, man. So to appease our magical, beautiful single viewer right now, let's just kind of talk about what we've missed, and then let's talk about what's going to be coming up. So we got some nerd stuff coming up, but also we had Bad Batch premiere, and we haven't even had a chance to talk about it yet.
Well, we on our last show before we kind of disappeared for a bit,
mm-hmm.
we did talk some Bad Batch on that show, but there's definitely some episodes right now that we haven't gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, one actually major one. So, but also stuff coming up. I mean, this could be some time for. This could be some time for Star Wars to get back into video game stream of things because you got E3 coming up.
Yeah, E3 is just around the corner. Yep.
They just got a deal with Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to EA, so EA is not the only candy store with Star Wars games anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Ubisoft is pretty heavy in letting everyone know that they have what they call an open world Star Wars game that they've got in the pipeline that they say is just going to knock everybody's socks off. So I don't, whether that means that it's going to be like, a GTA Star Wars game or Whether
Yeah,
it's going
because
to be back to like Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, and we haven't. I mean, a complete open world Star Wars game, like Star Wars Galaxies, which was I think ahead of its time.
Well, you're going back PC now.
Yeah, I'm going way back PC because I played it. You know, I played it for a certain period of time, and I had a really good time with it. It's just when it first came out, it was really difficult to get a Jedi slot or a Force sensitive slot that could become a Jedi. It was very rare, sort of how it really is. But nobody wanted to do that. Everybody wanted to be a Jedi, or not everybody, but you know, a good number of people wanted to be a Jedi. So they appeased the masses. They put out some patches, and they did that. But it really was kind of ahead of its time as far as Star Wars video games go, because you could bounce around from planet to planet. But it didn't happen until later on with an expansion pack where you could have the space traveling. So the whole premise of something called Star Wars, there was very little stars involved in this until they added the fighter pack where you could actually travel from planet to planet in your space vehicle. So to see another one come out would be great. I would love it. I would definitely get involved in as much as I could. I don't know if it's not going to be MMORPG, or we don't know if it's going to be MMORPG.
No, we don't know. We don't know which way they're going. They're only saying that it'll be open world. I'm still somewhat disappointed with this news because it's still not the upscale of the game that I want.
Okay, what do you want, Brian? What would make you happy, Brian? Tell me, Brian.
What I want and would make me happy, which, you know, I'm the only fan that counts. So I mean, what would?
Yeah, I guess okay. I can't argue with you there. You are the only fan that counts.
What would make me happy is if they go out and they upscale Rogue Squadron, for crying out loud. When are they going to do this? I mean, honestly, when you picked up your GameCube all those years ago, why else did you go get it?
For
GameCube.
Jedi.
Why did you go pick up a GameCube? You didn't go pick up a GameCube for Zelda because they didn't have Zelda.
No. It was.
You didn't go pick it up for Mario because they didn't have Mario.
Wow. Okay.
What did they do? They went with Star Wars, Rogue Squadron. That's why you went to pick up your game. That's why I went to pick up my GameCube.
Stop yelling.
I could have cared less for the Italian plumber in the funny hat. I could have cared less. I could have cared less for the 4'0" elf dwarf with a shield and a sword. I could have cared less. I wanted Rogue Squadron.
Okay, all right.
And when you popped it in, it was like just Star Wars bliss. I mean, it was Star Wars bliss on tap. Was what it was. It was you were. It started off with the Yavin battle, and it was just like you were in it. You were there.
Yeah.
And it, even for the graphics of that time, it was. If I popped it in right now, I'd get that feel. Don't you say anything.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, I'm just.
I haven't even said anything yet. My God, jeez. Ugh. Man.
So, you know, I get like open world's exciting, and I get like that's most of where the gaming is, but I mean, they came out like with this Top Gun type trailer. I don't know if you remember this last year, but when EA came out with what they called Squadrons, remember that?
Yeah. Squadrons. Okay.
And they had like a big like Top Gun type trailer, and they were saying like, oh, we're coming into the dogfighting game genre, and we're gonna blow you away with this pilot game. And I was like, okay, you know, could this finally be it? Could this be the upscale of the Woke Squadron? No. Why? Because they only did it from the cockpit.
Yeah,
they did it with a first-person only viewpoint, and that was just miserable. I played 10, 20 minutes of it, and after I ran into everything around me, I just didn't want to play anymore. Look, if I was a trained Imperial pilot or Rebel pilot, maybe I would enjoy it, but I'm not. I need an outside third-person, three-dimensional view so I can steer.
Right. Okay. So I had a huge problem with that because we got really excited and
I was ready.
Yeah, and we spent like almost a whole episode talking about this game.
We did. Yes.
And then we find out that it's going to be first person only. Okay, and I'm like, you can't do that with this kind of a game. You can't
No.
do that with a starfighter game or a
No.
jet game. You have to
No,
have
you
that.
can't see anything.
No, because you don't have that 360 view. You don't have. I mean, sometimes you may have like a little camera or something like that to assist you, but you're really taking a lot away from the game because it is a video game. I know they want to emulate realism or whatever. I got
well,
it,
but the problem is
you're missing
everyone
out.
can fly like Biggs, Darklighter,
Right, and
Wedge Antilles, and I can't do that.
Right, and you miss out on everything else that's around you in this almost this 180 view that you can see, and it has like the Star Fox feel. I mean, remember when Star Fox came out for the old Super Nintendo? I mean, it was just incredible. Now that even had a first person option when you went into space, but you didn't even have to use it. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't use it a whole lot.
I didn't use it.
I
maybe, tried it. It was terrible.
Maybe I switched back and forth, and I used it for certain parts of the game, but I never really used it to go and play like on the worlds and the planets and everything like that. But now I don't think Squadrons has that. But no, I never used it. So I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. But I don't know what to say because you can't make everybody happy when you're making a video game. Maybe they're trying to hit that niche, but you still have to have the option. Because if you have that, then it's a complete video game, and you're not alienating part of your target audience anymore. You're including everybody, and then everybody will love it, and it'll be the greatest thing since sliced bread, if that's even a term anymore. But so Johnny Be Good on YouTube says likes Battlefront 2. Now, I didn't play it. I didn't play Battlefront 2. I played the first one a couple times. Remember?
Yeah, Battlefront 2, it was okay.
Right.
But there were some issues with how they did their
the loot boxes, the loot
loot
crates. Right. There was a lot of controversy about that because you're paying and you're rolling the dice. You don't know what you're going to get, and it kind of goes into that pay to play type thing. And then didn't they come out with some weird excuse about a sense of accomplishment or something like that, or making it so difficult to get these items for free without having to pay for it. It gives people a sense of accomplishment. I mean, I don't think people really. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I don't think people get a sense of accomplishment from playing a game. Maybe it's like a little bit of pride, like I finally beat this boss that I've been working on forever. But that pay to play model, understandably had a lot of controversy. So I can't get into that. Now they took that stuff away or they made it free, but still kind of the damage was done. You saw where EA was going. Not only with that, you got a sense of where the industry was going. And now it's the same thing. You have all these microtransactions in video games for extra skins and things like that, which is fine. You don't have to buy it, but to get better in the game where you have to pay to play it extra after you paid $75 or $90 for a deluxe edition. No, man.
Oh, yeah.
No, get that crap out of here. Dude, done, bro. But that's kind of the nature of where we're at.
Yep.
With video games right now. I mean, they want to maximize their profits, and I get it, and they're doing it with these microtransactions. As long as it's not something that keeps me from enjoying the game or getting something for free or the ability to get something for free without having to spend 20 hours on just one part, I'm fine with it. If it's just for an extra piece of clothing, I don't care. Something aesthetic, I don't care. So anyways, I went on my little rant, I suppose.
I just, for me, Rogue Squadron's always going to be the top Star Wars video game because it finally emulated what we had all been waiting for. That's just, even with all the advanced things they're able to do with the last two Battlefront games. Mm-hmm. I even put Rogue Squadron above the original Battlefront games that were on the Generation 1 Xbox.
Oh, yeah?
Which I'm not sure if a lot of folks remember those titles, but those games are really rad. I mean, to pull an 80s term out.
Yeah,
but
rad. Totally rad, bro.
If you've never played the original Battlefronts from the original Xbox, you need to. Mm-hmm. But I still have Rogue Squadron above them. I'm really hoping someday they just give in and they do it, it would really, it wouldn't just appease me, the only one that counts, but it would appease a lot of people. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, and we'll see where it goes. Everything is focus groups. They go with what's going to be popular and what they feel is going to be popular. We'll see when E3 comes out, if anything gets released or even announced. I mean, an announcement would be fine. But we'll see where it goes from there. And that's just kind of the state of video games. E3 is all virtual this year. We submitted to be a co-streamer. I don't know if that happened or not. I guess we'll find out sometime this week. But it's cool that they're doing that, because it kind of gives the small potatoes like us the ability to try to get in on the action and be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. Because I mean, it's guys like us that pay and enjoy these things, and all 3 million of our fans out there listen to us and they follow us. We are influencing what people buy. Whatever.
Well, I want to go ahead and jump into Bad Batch, because we have a lot of Bad Batch to go into.
Okay, but let tell me real quick.
Johnny B. Good wants some more ground war out of the games. That's what he's looking for. He wants more troopers. He wants, which, I mean, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But I mean, I still want Rogue One. They can give him that as long as they give me Rogue One also. Rogue Squadron.
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
I mean, they're making the movie. For crying out loud, they're gonna have to make a game, right? Because they got the movie coming in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, they will. But so did you ever play the game Dynasty Warriors?
No.
Okay, so Dynasty Warriors is it's a hack and slash, but there's tactics involved in it as well. So the first time I played it was for PlayStation 2. It was Dynasty Warriors 2, and they've made a bunch of sequels since then. But you choose your warrior and you lead an army, and you're conquering ancient Japan. I'm sorry, not ancient, China. So it follows. It's somewhat historically accurate. It takes a very loose interpretation of history, and you go and you battle and you attack, but you're just one player, but you command your armies to go in certain directions. That would be cool from a Star Wars Clone Wars perspective, a game like that, where you could choose your different clone troopers. That would be interesting. Yeah, it would be really, really interesting. I think you would find a whole new niche for that. Wouldn't you agree?
Potentially.
But we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
So Bad Batch, and here's what I want. And here's what I want to know, because this is what I'm hearing. I haven't seen an episode yet, but is it just Clone Wars episode or season, the next season? Like, is it just a continuation, or is it a true spin-off?
Both.
Okay.
This picks up right where Clone Wars 7 left off, which was Order 66.
Okay.
And you're basically seeing how the Bad Batch, Clone Force 99, were thrown right into the middle of Order 66 and what they're having to try and do to cope.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as we all know, there were inhibitor chips put in each clone,
right,
which activated and enabled Order 66.
Right. Correct.
Clone Force 99, or the Bad Batch, as it's more commonly known, their inhibitor chips went faulty because of their genetic defects, which gave them other enhanced abilities, but their chips went faulty. Now, what's interesting is one of the members in the group, which is Crosshair, his chip starts to operate out of nowhere. And now there's this conflict between him and his teammates, because part of the inhibitor chip behavior actions are that good soldiers follow orders.
Right.
And he just starts to repeat this constantly, and now he's turning into that Imperial monster that Tarkin just loves. And they even take him and they strengthen his chip eventually in one of the as the show progresses,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's dead set on just following his orders, which he makes some very cold decisions down the way, and it's setting up for this really what's going to be a bang up clash between him and his ex teammates going forward, because I mean they're eventually going to cross each other.
Mm-hmm.
As this, you're even discovering that Wrecker, his chip is starting to have issues because he's getting headaches, so that's becoming an issue. It's something to keep an eye on. We're introduced to a brand new character called Omega, and Omega, you discover this little girl. You discover as the show progresses that not only is she part of the Kaminoan society, but she's actually a clone like them, but a female clone, and she also has genetic issues.
Mm-hmm.
She has no growth enhancement, but there's something else about her more elusive right now. I mean, she has like these sixth sensibilities, which I don't know if they're going to go towards this thing. She's going to be the first force sensitive clone. That would be like huge, but really there's nothing strong going towards that yet. But they're really honing in on her relationship with Hunter, who's the leader of the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Hunter has taken her under his wing.
Mm-hmm.
And many critics of Bad Batch, hard critics, which are usually the same ones that start hopping on the sequels, but those that are doing that now,
I feel targeted.
those that are doing that right now, that are harping on Bad Batch,
mm-hmm.
are harping on that dynamic. Oh, it's a one thing I'm seeing over and over is, oh, it's a babysitting series. I mean, if these guys want to take it there and call it a babysitting series, I mean, all 11 movies of Star Wars are a babysitting series.
Well,
if you think about it, I mean, Obi-Wan takes Luke under his wing to babysit him, but I mean, it's not babysitting, it's mentoring people. It's mentoring.
So I think
they're mentoring who they're taking in.
I think what you need to do,
mentors Luke. Din Djarin mentors Grogu.
Yeah, I know, and I think
mentors Ahsoka.
I think what you need to do, right, is you need to look at how Star Wars is right now and how the story is being told. These stories are being told. Is there's different perspectives and there's different focuses. Okay, so we will look at the live action, right, as event based. Okay, they're event based, and since they're live action, there's not a whole lot of time to get very deep into character development, backstories. You're really just seeing the event that is happening right now. So we see that with each episode of Star Wars. We see that with The Mandalorian. We saw that with Solo. We saw that with Rogue One, especially with Rogue One. We saw that it was just one big event. It was just getting the plans to the Death Star. That was the mission. That was the whole purpose and point of that movie. And we learned so much about the Star Wars universe and everything leading up to what we know through
but even,
that.
Even with Rogue One,
okay.
you had a situation where one was mentoring the other.
Right, and
Cassian was mentoring Jim.
Right, and that's and that's okay, and that's fine, and I think what people
like, oh, Bad Batch is babysitting.
Well, I think what's happening here is that you're not taking this series, right? This computer generated cartoon series for face value. The face value of it is now we're getting into the true human or alien condition of the Star Wars universe, and mentoring is a big part of it. Parenthood, fatherhood.
Well, they had the opportunity to do that with Clone Wars. They had 7 seasons of it.
And that's fine. And that's fine. But you need to see it as such, and not not be so critical. And I'm not talking about you. Of course, I'm talking about those who are being critical of it for not taking it for what it is. This is Filoni's and Lucasfilm's opportunity to really, really, really get into the characters and what happens to characters, because I mean, whenever you're watching a movie, do you ever, see them, going to the bathroom, taking a dump or anything? No, you don't see that, but it happens. And we know that it happens. We just don't see that it happens. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with everything else.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying it's one of those things that you don't always see. You always don't see the mentoring.
You saw it in Pulp Fiction.
You don't see it with that. Yeah, I know. It's Pulp Fiction, though. It's Quentin Tarantino. You
saw it in Dumb and Dumber.
He's built different. So that's why you need to say, because it's a comedy movie. But yes, you did see it in Dumb and Dumber. You're gonna see me take a dump. You're gonna see me take a dump right now if you don't quit interrupting me. And it's
you saw it in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
So yes, they will be critical, but they should not be, because this is going into things that you will never really see in movies. You will, but it only touches on it. Now you're getting into like the real weeds of it. So I'm on your side. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm informing the masses that there is different aspects of the stories from each perspective. Clone Wars, Bad Batch being one perspective, live action being another. There you go.
The other cool thing is some of the other things we're seeing. They did an episode where they rescued a Rancor, and the Rancor's name was Moochie. Now the funny thing was
the Rancor's name was Moochie.
Moochie. Now the funny thing with that was, you see Bib Fortuna and two Gamorrean guards.
Mm-hmm.
That when Bad Batch is getting the job, so immediately everyone made this assumption that Moochie grew to be the Rancor that was in Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
There is one overriding problem with that, is those that made that assumption did not go into their Star Wars canon enough to understand that Rancor already had a name.
So
that Rancor's name was Patessa.
Okay,
so,
do we play too much into canon?
No, we don't, because canon's there for a reason. So
what's the reason?
For what we're just discussing, so that you don't confuse a Rancor like Moochie with a Rancor like Patessa.
Okay. All right, I was just asking.
Okay.
I wasn't
maybe
trying to be Socratic. I was just asking.
Maybe Moochie was Patessa's mother. I mean, because Moochie's a female and Patessa's a male, so that could be a possibility. But
or it could be a different interpretation. Okay, it's not the same Rancor.
But also, you meet a character named Sid, and you discover that Sid was an informant for the Jedi that the Jedi had used, and during the Clone Wars, and Sid is actually voiced by Rhea Perlman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so does that mean Danny DeVito? Oh no, they're divorced.
Yeah, but still,
I want Danny DeVito in Star Wars, man.
You bring back that Cheers element into Star Wars. I mean, because you had John Roethlisberger in Empire Strikes Back, so.
Oh, he was. That's right.
So Star Wars truly ends up being the saga where everybody wants to know your name.
Dad jokes.
And they're always.
This is the episode of dad jokes. Oh my God, this is the episode of dad jokes. That's all right. They're good dad jokes. All right. So, okay.
Those were some neat little nuances there.
Okay.
And then, as you get into the most recent episode, which to me this was, everyone said this past episode was filler.
There's always filler episodes. There's filler episodes. There's bubble episodes.
But Filoni revives two characters from Clone Wars 7. He revives the Martez sisters. Now, this was to the surprise of many, but to the dismay of most, because many fans did not like them, nor did they catch to them in Clone Wars 7. So to see them return was a bit of a disruption to their day. But we discover that Trace and Rafa are now key into forming the rebellion, because as the episode concludes, they go aboard their ship. Aboard their ship, you see R7, who R7 was always tied to Ahsoka. And then they're looking at a hologram, and they're telling the hologram, we ran into this rogue group of clones. We thought you should know. And you do not see who the hologram is. So, and then before even any of that took place, as they were boarding their ship, they looked back at Hunter and told him, eventually you pick sides. So, obviously, this is all heading into the rebellion right now. And
well, getting closer.
that
Getting
was
closer.
exciting to see. That they're
Which
actually two integral parts of that.
which episode was this one? What episode
This,
are we
this,
on right now?
I believe we're on 7 coming up.
Oh, jeez, I missed that much. Wow. Okay, wake up, Toast. I guess I got to start doing some stuff.
There's 16 of these things, so there's 10 more episodes coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna really have to get into it. I mean, there's just a lot of content. A lot of content is starting to just get out there. The floodgates are open. So there's just a lot to catch up on. I mean, hey, Castlevania just came out. The next season, and I'm still not done with that. So
I'm watching that, and it's not good.
nobody asked you.
I don't know what to tell you. Like season one was fantastic.
Season 1 was good. Season 2 was great.
Season 1 was fantastic.
Season 3 started to lag, but this has a lot of gore.
Season 3 was.
It started to lag, but season 4 has gore. Oh, it's got some gore in it.
The whole thing has had gore.
No, this has some real gore. This has like Mortal Kombat level gore. This is getting good.
It's had that since season 1. That's
not at this level, buddy. No.
I've been watching it.
Well, my interpretation, and that's why there's 2 of us here, so you can get different perspectives.
This isn't Star Wars, though.
It doesn't matter if it's Star Wars. It's nerd stuff. We can do whatever we want. We're not paying. Oh yeah, I guess I am paying for this, but I mean it's practically free. So yeah, we can talk about Castlevania. Why not? We're about to gripe at Target.
Don't watch it.
Watch it. Watch it.
No, don't watch it. Don't waste your time.
Don't listen to. Don't
waste your time. Don't do it.
Don't.
That anime about the robots and the little girl on Netflix, that you should watch.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah. There's an anime that just came on Netflix. It's about humans being extinct for 1,000 years, and robots are now just taking they run the planet, and they're still cultivating and farming, which I don't understand why they're doing that if there's no humans around. I don't know what they're going to do with all the apples, but that's how you see it begin, cultivating apples. And
I gotta look into that. That sounds interesting.
As they're cultivating the apples, they come across this pod, and the pod has encased in it an infant child who's been cryo sleeping for those 1,000 years.
The child.
And now they're gonna,
The child.
The child.
Ghostbusters 2. I missed that.
I love it. He was my favorite character from both.
Yeah.
Giannis.
Yeah, and then and you know what? To my surprise, when I find out years later, this guy doesn't even have a real accent. He's not even.
No, he's just a regular. Yeah. Where are you from anyway, Giannis? The Upper West Side.
The Upper West Side. Okay.
Well, even with as much of the good stuff that we talked about from Bad Batch right now, there's still a whole lot of negativity segueing into our next topic being thrown Omega's way. Omega is not being received well by the community. Again, they take it as a babysitting assignment, which I've already gone over that right now, but also some of them are referring to her as a Mary Sue because she has some ability, and they're just like, where is she getting this ability from, where you hear nothing of her, and all of a sudden she's agile, and she has somewhat of she's a pretty good shot, and where's all this taking place from? So they're not too happy about that.
Maybe it's the generic name Omega.
Actually, that's not very generic if you ask me. That's very designed.
That sounds generic.
How does that not sound designed to you?
I don't know. It just sounds generic. I mean, like
what's the Greek meaning of Omega?
I don't know. I'm not Greek.
The end.
Okay.
The Alpha and the Omega.
Okay. I don't know. I mean,
for her to be named Omega.
Why not like something like Axel?
What?
Like something like Axel or something. Yeah.
Star
Wars character named Axel.
You ask me, it's pretty ominous. A name like Omega. I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, we can. I like how they describe her on Wikipedia. species human, gender female, hair color blonde, eye color brown, skin color light tan. She's white, dude. She's white. This is so funny.
All that aside, okay? I mean,
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm gonna put it on there. Hold on. Just give me a second. Chill out.
what are you doing now?
I'm just gonna put it on there. It's hold on. Look.
What?
Look. It's light tan. She white.
Again,
she
beyond
white.
all that, the
I don't.
name Omega is tremendously significant. You have to give it that. I mean,
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I can't make any kind of assumptions. I'm just saying that it's just kind of a generic name.
One of the things that you're learning is that the clones are no longer of use.
Okay.
Tarkin comes out to the Kaminoans and tells them, "Give me one reason why we should pay you any money when we can go and we can hire regular recruits at half the cost."
Okay, so it was a financial decision.
So clones are starting to become obsolete.
Mm.
So knowing that clones are facing being obsolete,
okay,
and then you have one in their group that's named Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she could be like what's integral to what's going to be their demise. I mean, it's pretty fascinating to me. I just, this is also going to segue into our fans being divided area tonight. But I mean, I'm just tired of it all. Like, I mean,
let's kind of talk about that. Let's look into that because
let's bottle the end on this one. So
all right, go ahead.
What?
No, go. Finish.
All these folks that go out and bash the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, while they bash it, they're there licking the boot heels of Filoni. He's God. He's the Messiah for Star Wars. He's gonna replace Kathleen Kennedy and fix everything. He's our only hope right now. It goes on and on.
Well,
then they come out and they trash his character. He created the character. He thought up the character, Omega.
You can't make everybody happy. You just can't. You can't make everybody happy.
It's aggravating.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I mean I get it. So let's talk about this fan division because we were kind of talking about this in pre-production.
It's not even split down the middle anymore. It's split 3 or 4 different ways now.
Kind of like, what's happening right now for real in the United States? I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna. No politics tonight. Okay. So, but here. Look, in this case, division is good. And the reason I think that it's good because we talked about this again just a little while ago, and I was kind of able to think about it a little bit more. Division is good, and I think that division is good because now again everything is a matter of perspective. Remember, this is all made up stuff, anyways. It's all started in George Lucas's head, and then it bounced around from brain to brain, and different interpretations, different takes on different characters and stories, and how people are telling it. So with the division of fans, right, it allows guys like us to have a show like this and have some sort of controversy because without it, it's kind of boring. I mean, and you see that, and that's why, in sports, we don't really talk about a whole lot what they do on the court as much as what we talk about what they do off the court or on the field or off the field. Okay, so people want drama. They want to see human nature happen. And that's just kind of what we're doing. It's just human nature. It's okay for us to bash things, to like things, to hate things. In this perspective, okay, because it's all made up. And it's in good fun. It's okay. Because these are fun arguments to have. I mean, imagine getting really mad about something, right? When you're drinking at a bar with a guy or with the guys, and you're just out there and you're just talking Star Wars or gals, everybody likes Star Wars. And you guys have different takes, right? Okay, so the argument is, would Chewbacca used Pantene Pro V or Head and Shoulders to prevent dandruff, right? Okay, stupid thing, right? But it can turn into something real, and it's made up, and it's funny. So division is good, I think, to a certain extent, on certain topics. In this case, it's okay.
Well, Johnny Be Good just asked where all the angst is coming from Omega, and I would just suggest any Star Wars chat page, just use Google. It's there. I've been arguing for the past few days about it with them all. So
all right. Well, what's your forum? Where do you go on to talk about?
I mean, you can go just about anywhere.
No, but where do you go?
Well, there's Star Wars spoilers.
Okay.
There's Star Wars the movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's Star Wars collectors.
Okay.
There's Star Wars Black Series fans.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, that's the funny thing, because they're a collector toy site, that one. And if someone puts a picture of Finn or Rey, of a Finn or Rey Black Series, they get immediately blasted. So it's just
God.
it's brutal.
God.
On the others,
you nerds are brutal. Ouch.
I mean, on the others, if you post a picture of Omega, or if you post just about anything, they immediately just, I mean, it's like that scene from Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail.
Uh-huh.
And it's that scene where they wanted to burn the witch.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I remember,
it's
yeah.
just like that. It's a witch! She's a witch! And, it's burn her! Burn the witch! It's just like that mob.
I would bring it up, but our show would probably get flagged for everything.
Oh yeah, no, we'll yeah, even if we just play 10 seconds of it.
Yeah, even if it's British.
Yeah.
God.
But no, trust me, it's out there. Just look it up. I know you like her, and I know I like her, and I know that Jason will end up liking her, but trust me, you'll find it. But
okay. All right. Well, there you go.
It's going back to the division where you're saying, division's healthy, division's good, division's great because it sparks conversation.
Sure.
I'm not denying that. I'm not going to deny that. But where it's stupid is when you're trying to justify what it is you're throwing shade on. Okay, I mean, and I'll give an example. Thank God Filoni's saving everything. Because everything got so messed up since Disney bought it. Thank God he's there to save it. And then you tell them, hey, here's this link from such and such publication, an interview Filoni did. And Filoni lists Rian Johnson as his inspiration for directing live action. And it's what got him into live action. You give them that link, and their immediate response is, "Oh, well, Disney forced him to say that, or they would have fired him." Like, there's no way he would have said that on his own. He wouldn't have said that on his own. I don't know. Filoni.
Well, I mean, he probably. I mean, and that's okay. He probably did. I mean, Rian Johnson made one movie that I didn't like. Okay, so what? Okay, I didn't like. The Last Jedi. I mean, we all know that. Well, I mean, everybody that's seen the episode.
Made it pretty clear.
I've made it abundantly clear that I don't like it, and that's okay. I mean, do I think it ruined the series? No, I don't think it ruined the series. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I wanted it to be different. But it's not my franchise to say that. I mean, it's mine in the sense as it's because I'm a fan, but I'm a fan because I'm letting somebody else do this and I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm just critical because I just didn't think it was a good overall movie. I mean, it just wasn't a good Star Wars movie. I just don't think it was even a good movie. Like story, plot, I don't think any of it was good. So that's why I don't like it. Okay, it's not like I think he screwed up the whole thing. I just didn't think it was a very good movie. Now, when you say, right, you hate Rise of Skywalker because you felt that it was all over the place, it bounced it did, it really did. But to me, it was a cool movie because it had just a load of action in it, and that's what I like. So again, matter of perspective. I loved it, you hated it, and vice versa for the Last Jedi. You loved it, I hate it.
It's interesting though if you go back and look at what people said about The Empire Strikes Back in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen some of those reactions?
You know what? Yes. As a matter of fact, I think I was reading a Reddit post on it, and some of the early reviews. I think someone had posted an early review from a critic. It was a small town newspaper publication when.
Forget the critics. I'm talking about fans.
Well, can't you say one can be the other? I mean. That's fine, but
not necessarily.
But it got some hate, right? And then, but let me finish. Because it's a post, people comment, and you had some older Redditors that remember those times. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't like it. A lot of people hated the fact that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. People hated that idea, And I can only imagine because it was 1980, and I wasn't even born yet, so. I was about to be, but I wasn't yet. So I don't know. So you have to take it for, anecdotal evidence that they say that this is how it was. But I believe it. I believe that controversy was there. So people...
It's interesting to see a lot of what the fans were saying because most of them walked out of that movie and they said, but why did it have to go this way?
Right. But
Why did Han have to get put in a slab of carbonite, and why wasn't there more dogfighting, and why wasn't there more lightsaber duels, and why wasn't it was forget the fact that Luke and Vader had a pretty epic duel, and forget the fact that the Millennium Falcon did some pretty good dogfighting through an asteroid field.
Mm-hmm.
Forget all that.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted more of it. Because that's what they felt the first one had.
But then there was no there was no appreciation for that until later on. Same thing with the prequels. Now look at how everybody wants Hayden Christensen to play Darth Vader, and how much hate he got for playing Anakin in the first place. I mean, I can remember that because I was there and I saw it. But now, even I can agree. I'm 40 years old now. I was 20. When the prequels were coming, I was in my early 20s when the prequels were coming out.
Just as long as they don't want Ahmed Best back, I'm fine.
God, what the Misa saying?
That's what you get for talking about Jar Jar.
I didn't talk about Jar Jar.
But okay, yeah, that was a mistake. Well, I mean, we can all say that, but we all now have appreciation. And look how much love Ewan McGregor is getting for his portrayal of Obi-Wan. Look at how much love he's getting for it. But it's not something that we could appreciate back then because we were so critical of everything else. But over time, people learn to appreciate these things. They really, really do. Even I can't. Even I find myself going back from time to time when I need some comfort viewing. Is I go back and I watch episode 3 or even watch episode 1 just to kind of get that. It's now because it's nostalgic for me. So now it makes me feel younger again. But I don't want to ignore Johnny Be Good here. So got a question. The series that we're going to get right now, The Bad Batch, Clone Wars, final season, especially The Mandalorian, will they do for the prequels what the early Clone Wars did for the prequels? I don't think I understand that question.
I think I know where he's going with that.
Okay.
So what he's trying to say is by The Bad Batch, Clone Wars linking up things and tying loose ends for the sequels, will people appreciate the sequels the way they now appreciate the prequels?
I got you.
Therefore, unifying the base.
I got you. And I think that was the intention all along. I really think that was because remember, even in episode 2, there was no closure as to how Sifo Dyas erased the planet Kamino from the Jedi archives. Wow. Can you believe I remember that, Brian? I just rattled that off like I knew it.
Give you that.
Like I saw it yesterday, which I didn't. But it was big because there was a plot hole there, and Lucas had promised that it would be closed in one of the books that he was gonna let be released.
Go ahead.
But it was closed, right? That plot hole was eventually closed, wasn't it? But I don't know where.
Well, but you have to remember, any of that EU stuff is out the window now. That's what you have to bear in mind.
Yeah, but that's new. That's fairly new. But I'm just using it as an example. I mean,
right.
I mean, that was closed, and I don't remember where, and I don't know where, and I don't even know what the story was. I don't know how it was done, but it was a plot hole, and now you're filling it in with another form of medium.
I mean, I will say this for Johnny B. Good's comment as far as, I mean, do I think that that's going to happen? I don't know if I could say that I think it's going to happen. What I can say is I sure as hell hope it happens. And the reason I say I hope it happens is because I'm really just sick of all this divisiveness. I'm just done with it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a time where, you know, Star Wars fans would go to an event and you're talking about the movies and you're reminiscing on the movies. You're not in constant debate with the other as to how bad it sucked or didn't suck.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
I see where your issue is.
It's more of a reminiscing conversation, and I want things to get back to that. So I mean, I hope these things do for the prequels what they did for the sequels. Mm-hmm. I hope they. I mean, reverse that. You know, I hope they do for the sequels what was done for the prequels. I mean, I hope so.
Well, I mean, look. I mean, a perfect example. Look at how some of the hate for the new Mortal Kombat is right now. Now, okay, maybe it wasn't Citizen Kane. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be a lot of action, and they had the small bits of nostalgia from the old movie and from the old video game that people want, that people like me, those original fans, want to see. Maybe a brand new fan can't truly appreciate it, but I mean, I thought it was very well done. I thought it was great. I thought they paid homage to the legacy, which is the brutal Mortal Kombat game that my dad thought was so violent that I could never play when it first came out. When it was just little splats of pixelated blood coming out, and now you see people's intestines and skeletons being ripped out of their bodies. It's insane. But that movie got some hate from some of my friends that I saw on Facebook. But I mean, you have to look at it from the perspective of someone who saw the original Mortal Kombat movie in '95. I was 14 at the time. Sure, it was bloody, it was gory, but not like how this is. But it takes all these cool things from a video game, and now the franchise has matured. I mean, you're at Mortal Kombat 11 now. I mean, this entire franchise has matured and it's grown, and now there's just so much to talk about and do. And they made a movie, right, for the fans, and I thought it was fantastic. I had so much. It was such a fun movie to watch. The part where Scorpion at the very end, and again, this is all Fetts are off, so we do spoilers here because you saw it, right, Brian?
What's that?
You saw Mortal Kombat, right?
Oh,
okay.
I did.
Okay, so yeah, my favorite part, the one that gave me chills, was when Sub-Zero was about to stab. I don't know what his name is, but with Hanzo's blade, he was about to stab him, and then Scorpion's chain blade comes right through his bicep, and Sub-Zero's just like that, and then the camera pans and it has Scorpion like that. And the music goes, right, the Mortal Kombat music, the dun 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 dun. It just started just like that, and it just gave me chills. Like, oh my god, they did it, right? They played the music, because that was the first time they did in the whole movie. That was the first time that just that little bit came out, because it's such an iconic song. And it gave me chills, and those are the reasons that you go to these movies and you see these things is so you can get those chills and it can bring out some kind of emotional response. It was so awesome. What?
Well,
what?
We'll just have to see if they get to the second film. I mean,
well, they signed on for 4. They signed on for 4, and they envision it as a trilogy.
There's a lot of skepticism whether they're even going to get to 2. So.
Right, but I mean, they're saying they signed on for 4, so this is the plan so far: is pre-tournament, during the tournament, post-tournament. So we'll see, but we'll just see. Even if they don't, I'm fine with that being a standalone film. I mean, I'm perfectly fine. Goro was in it. He died. Sub-Zero was in it. He died. They just didn't have Johnny Cage. So.
They had him in a poster.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even see his face, so they haven't casted the character yet. But you saw the big old belt buckle that said Cage, so it was great. Man, oh wow, it's 9:55. We took a lot of time. We didn't get to that. We didn't get to the Target part, but that's okay with this. We can rant about retailers later. So.
Well, that's a 5-minute rant.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Go for it.
So, Target dropped these exclusive 4 Black Series Clone Wars that were repackaged in the fashion of the packaging from the 2009 line that were 3 1/4. And they released 4 characters. They released Anakin, Obi-Wan, and they released Clone Pilot Hawk, and then they released Echo as an ARC Trooper. Yeah. And the Echo and the Clone Pilot Hawk look great. So that alone was already trying to get everyone in on it. But you discovered soon that there was no way to pre-order it because they said they were going to do it in stores only, is what they said.
Okay.
So you
all right.
couldn't do a pre-order this time. So what you had was everybody trying to get with Target, trying to figure out when these were going to drop. And the only thing anyone got from Target was, I don't know, over and over and over again. So finally, some Targets were saying, well, we think it could be the 18th or we think it could be the 23rd. But they didn't, they still couldn't.
And this is a Hasbro exclusive to Target.
Right. And they couldn't say it definitively. So then
well,
what ended up happening was everyone around the 18th started just going to different stores. Then you started seeing pictures pop up of people that actually acquired them.
Right.
And so everyone's asking, well, where the heck did they get them? So I'll give you my experience. So I went out into the wild on May 23rd to try and find them. And on that day, I went to 3 or 4 different spots. And one spot put them on a Father's Day end cap, which you would walk right by because it was a very small end cap. And that one had an Obi-Wan on it, which was dinged up. And then they went to the back and they had one Echo line back there. So I picked up those 2 from over there. Then I went to the next location and they said, oh yeah, we got them all. We got them all in the back. And I said, okay, well, the other place, had their Echo in the back. Do you think you could grab me these characters from your back area? And they said, well, no, we don't want to do that. I said, but I literally just bought these 2 characters from this location an hour ago. And they said, yeah, but what we want to do is we want to use it as a Father's Day promotion.
Jeez.
And so I looked back at the girl and I said, you want to use 6-inch Star Wars Black Series figures to promote Father's Day. You don't want to use TVs or razor blades or sporting goods or any. You want to use the figures. Yeah, we want to put them out closer to Father's Day. And I said, okay, well, Father's Day is like June.
It's 3 weeks away.
It's like, so where in that 3 weeks should I come by?
Is it?
Well, we're not really sure. Just
it's 3 weeks away.
Check with us.
2.5. Yeah.
They were like, just check with us closer to Father's Day. So I gave up on that one real quick, and then I was literally just gonna whiz by the last one and just not,
You're gonna take a whiz.
I was just gonna give up on the last one, and then it was on the way home, and then I said, no, I will stop by there. And what I ended up with was a disgruntled associate who they exclaimed, I'm not even toys, and they always send these to electronics, and I'm tired of that happening, and this is not my commodity. I shouldn't have to be working this out. I've got it lying there in the back. How many do you want? So I can just... I had someone come in here and buy a few, depending on how many you want. Maybe that's the rest of them, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I said, well... And I said, okay. I said, well, what do you have left? And then she showed me what she had left, and I took the rest of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
and
that's
she was like, well, that's great for me because I don't have to stock it, and you found what you wanted, so we're both good. And I'm like, yep, sounds that way. And that's pretty much how it ended up. So, I mean,
the never-ending adventure of a collector.
I can't count Johnny B. Good is predicting that both Grogu and Mace Windu will be in the Bad Batch.
Yep, you heard it here first.
I've got very sad, sore, depressing.
You know nothing. Don't act like you know anything. You don't know nothing.
Disappointing news for you, my friend.
What?
Because
Grogu's dead?
Well, Mace Windu's dead. So
maybe. We don't know.
No, he's dead.
We were pretty sure that Darth Maul was dead too.
I'll agree with him on Grogu, but Mace Windu is dead as a doornail. That guy is.
Samuel L. Jackson will never die. He will never die.
Mace Windu is making melancholy with Marley from Dickens. So
I don't even know what that means. Anyways, Brian, it's late. I'm tired. I'm old.
So am I.
But I'm really glad that we were able to, get back and get back into the groove of the show. We'll be back next Monday. All right. So let's we'll talk some more. We'll have some Bad Batch. Hopefully, I'll watch some episodes by then. And we'll get back on schedule. All right.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Brian. Hey, this was a great show. It was great to reconnect with you. We've been doing this show for. This was our 45th episode, man. I mean, we've been doing this for a little while, and every time we do it, man, I have such a great time. I'm glad. So I'm hoping that next time that we're here, we get another guest, one of the OG Star Wars fans. So we'll see if he's willing to come on and talk a little wars with us. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, man. So I'm gonna do this for you one more time, just because I love you.
No.
This is very, very bad.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna give you, man.
Yeah.
You ready to yub up out of here?
Let's yub up.
All right. Good night, everybody.